Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this beautiful October 31st autumn day. It is a cozy day in Vancouver. It's wet and rainy, and welcome to my home and my space. I'm Natasha. Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm Natasha, and Wellness by Natasha is my Instagram platform. I'm here via Nutrophoria. Thank you, Nutrophoria, for inviting me to share some seeds of wisdom and experience and intuition, and I hope that an ounce of something will be shared with someone out there today. This is my home. This is where I'm a wife and a mother to two beautiful teenagers first. I also teach my private practice in this space, in my private studio. And I am very grateful for this wellness journey that I've evolved to. So when Nutrophoria asked me to, invited me to share some seeds of goodness, they also asked me to come up with a topic of interest. And I can only speak and be authentic and genuine to myself and how I feel in the present moment. And so my genuine state of being is that of connecting mind, body, and soul. And I feel that that is speaking loud to me right now in my personal life, and also to those that I teach daily and weekly throughout my practice. I feel that our world is connected virtually more than ever, yet we are disconnected more than ever internally. And so I would love to share with you some tools that have helped me throughout my life journey and have allowed me to recognize the importance and the connection of mind, body, and soul, and how that gives us all that we need to be a whole and complete and balanced human being. Think less is more, think simple abundance, and I am excited to share. So I asked you to bring a journal or a notebook, and I'm not necessarily going to have you journal and write. I want that to be free for you to write as I speak and as I share some value that may resonate with you. You can also just reflect on yourself and how you feel when I'm mentioning anything. I think that it's just a beautiful way to start your practice of journaling, is to be present here. You've given your time to me and yourself, so use that 30 minutes to also reflect on where you're at as I'm sharing. So rituals, I call these rituals, and I'm very devoted and disciplined to these rituals. And when I reflected and looked back at my life and where I'm at now, these are the rituals that I've stuck by. Some I have learned through hardship, through life experience. Usually when we are passionate about something, as I am with my work, it is because we have been through something hard. And that is the most authentic and genuine place when someone has something to share. It doesn't come from a trend or a current wave. It's from a passionate place of experience. Further, some of these rituals I inherited. I do believe I inherited from generations before me in my family, specifically from my grandparents. My grandparents immigrated from Italy and came with nothing and started our family's life here in Vancouver. And their demonstration of simple abundance, humility, taking natural resources and making a beautiful life out of simplicity was the most important thing that I gained from my grandparents. And my grandfather passed away when he was 101. My grandmother is still living, and she's feisty, and she's 98. And their habits as a married couple, their lifestyle was that of growing their garden and being with like-minded community and keeping life pretty simple. So these rituals are my life experience and that which I gained definitely from my family. Let's start with listing the rituals and then I'll break it down. So meditation is a huge part of my life in finding calm and peace and center through hard times, through good times. We want to find balance, and the practice of meditation keeps us balanced as a human being. And I really encourage everyone, if you are not in a meditation practice, to start today. I hope that you write that down and that is your first note in your journal. Life is good and life is bad, and we have moments of both. And the point of meditation is to keep us in that beautiful center space where yin and yang and equilibrium are just in that happy, neutral zone where we're not over high with energy and we're not going too low. And so I'll share some very fundamental meditation practice that I have learned through the years. And I'll move on to that after I list my other rituals. So mindful movement, that is a practice that I live by personally and teach. Mindful movement for me is meditation in motion, and it's derived from breath. So the driving force of mindful movement is breath alone. And then further, I seek nature. Hello everyone, welcome. I seek nature every day, rain or shine. Vancouver is a rainy city, and I can't use the weather as an excuse. So when I seek nature, I'm usually by myself. I have a dog, and I walk Coda daily, and so it's a perfect excuse to get outside. I'm typically alone when I seek nature and away from human distractions. The phone is turned off. I don't love walking near cars. I'm in nature, and I'll dive a little deeper into that in a bit. Creativity. Creativity is a huge aspect of my personal life, and I feel that everyone is creative, and that is a form of using all our senses and really tapping in to our human spirit. So creativity, I'll chat again a little bit more later. And finally, journaling. So let's begin with meditation. And my definition is that meditation is the art of stillness in the mind while we sit in the present, led from breath. So the art of stillness in the mind while we sit in the present, led from breath. And the driving force of meditation is breath. I can't say enough that we need to breathe more. In my practice, I see it, but I'm also extra observant in the world around me, and we're not breathing. So when I was in grade 4, I was taught the first truthful, full breath, and I suffered childhood asthma, and I could never take a full breath. I was yearning for a full breath. And this grade 4 PE teacher taught me the full breath in a PE class, and it stuck with me forever, and I'd like to share that with you using her instruction. We sit comfortably, wherever you are, just sit comfortably, and just calm your nervous system for a moment by taking your own natural breaths, and then place your hands on your ribs, drop your shoulders, elongate your spine, and take a cleansing breath into your nose and feel your rib cage expand into your hands. And then exhale out of your mouth and feel the decompression, and exhale to your base, and just feel the expansion in your rib cage like a balloon. So you can stay there, and if that feels nice, take a couple more full breaths. She also came around the class and placed her hands on our backs, and at the time I didn't fully understand it. I clearly do now, and it is the fundamentals of breath, where our lungs sit. Breathe into your back. Use your entire diaphragm to breathe. So there's the full breath, and that is the essential to meditation. And then of course we move into the mindful practice of meditation, which I want to share another exercise from that full breath, and it's called heartwarming meditation, heartwarming breath. It's derived from Qigong. I studied Qigong fundamentals 10 years ago from my beautiful mentor and teacher, Marta Hernandez. And Qigong is a movement practice, a mindful movement practice, an ancient practice that is led from breath again. And we use that breath and direct it to different organs in our body. So this heartwarming breath uses the H-A, ha sound out of the mouth, and we're going to completely exhale, ha, to our base, and take a cleansing breath and inhale through the nose. I'm going to include 4-4 into this. Some of us may know it as box breath. If the image of a box doesn't serve you, you can also draw a circle in your mind. It's basically just following the pattern of a box or circle, counting 4-4-4, inhaling long and exhaling H-A, long, out of the mouth. And as I direct this, I want you to think about inhaling golden light and exhaling golden light and going further and exhaling warmth and love. Inhaling light, golden light, and exhaling golden light, warmth, and love. So sit comfortably again. I hope you're doing this with me, or maybe look back on the recording after, or write it down if you want. Take a cleansing breath into the nose. Close your eyes if that feels nice, and just center yourself where you are in space and time. Scan your body. Cleansing breath into the nose for 4. And exhale out of your mouth. Golden light, warmth, and love. And hear the H-A. Inhale again. And exhale. Warmth can carry that pattern. Just allow what comes to mind. Through meditation, we often move in and out of thoughts like a wave. Allow that to happen. If thoughts come to mind, I love the imagery of a leaf floating down a creek, and just say hi to the leaf, the thought, and let it continue floating along. So a couple more rounds of long 4-count inhale and HA out of your mouth. And you can carry on if you want. Open your eyes if you're closed eyes, and just see how that feels. If you have your notebook or journal, reflect. I think it's a beautiful practice to meditate and then write in your journal and reflect. How am I feeling? How was I feeling prior to this, and how am I feeling now? And what emotions arise? What stirs me? Where do I need to go deeper? With meditation, we go even further, and we utilize affirmations throughout meditation to bring us to a state of compassion and peace and calm and kindness with ourselves, and then that directs out into the world. I do want to say that I feel we all need more compassion, and that starts with ourselves. Compassion to ourselves and then to each other. Less judgment, less opinions, and just more listening and respecting that we're all human beings with a beautiful perspective. So the mind is very powerful. We all know that. The mind actually will believe anything we tell it. And so the mind will also believe anything someone else tells it if we allow it to. Meditation brings us back to that place where we assure ourselves that we are enough. Maybe that's the first affirmation that we can share today together, and just repeat, I am enough. So here are a list of affirmations that I use in the morning when I wake up, prior to my warm lemon water, prior to caffeine, and then prior to doom scrolling. The very first thing we should do every day is wake up and give ourselves love, compassion, and kindness with affirmations. And the words go into our mind and distribute through our body, and yes, we do become what we think. So the first affirmation is, I'm grateful. And you can repeat this out loud if you want. You can write it down. I am grateful. I let go of yesterday. I am calm within. I choose kindness. Everything is temporary. I'll repeat those 5 affirmations one more time. I am grateful. I let go of yesterday. I'm calm within. I choose kindness. Everything is temporary. So you can write those down, see how those make you feel, add to them if you want. And I want to chat for a moment about the last one, everything is temporary. Everything is temporary. Nothing is permanent. In meditation, we really focus on impermanence. And so when something is so joyful, well, don't get too hyped up. Be happy for yourself, and definitely be happy for someone else. But always remember that the lows come, and don't doom into the lows either, because everything is temporary. I will share some apps of meditation and breath work, and I can also share this in the post when we upload. The Calm app I find is so accessible for everyone, young ones, elderly. For the little ones, they even incorporate story times read by celebrities, and it's just really a special, unique app for learning how to meditate. So the Calm app, Insight Timer, Breathe app, and Headspace. Those are all for meditation and breath work. And for affirmations, I Am app is a beautiful daily app that comes through my feed. And today I practice, which my beautiful friend Rambir actually created that app. And she reads so beautifully, and her voice is so healing. So that is the essence, the 101 of meditation, and I hope that that inspires you to move into a world of meditation. There are classes and sessions that you can take online, and my meditation practice is usually in this chair in the morning, early in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, before the family wakes up, and or in the evening before bed. And it's 10 minutes. I don't stay for an hour. If I want to, I will, but usually it's just a moment of center. And let's move into a little bit about mindful movement. So I teach Pilates. I'm a classical Pilates instructor. My background first came from yoga and derivatives of martial arts. I was also a kickboxer at one point, and I realized that the connection with all of these movements was breath, was derived from breath. And I really consider my practice meditation in motion. My students aren't thinking of anything else in the hour we spend together but breath work. And mindful movement, again, goes back to that yin and yang approach. Especially in yoga, we have this sensation where we want to get into these difficult, strong, and powerful poses, yet you really can only achieve them when you're in this equilibrium of not too much energy and not too low either. And it's that beautiful sweet spot. My first yoga class was when I was 16, and teenage years are hard. Nothing has changed from when we were younger, even with social media added. Social pressures, and just finding a place of grounding and purpose. And at home, my home life, we were facing very hard, difficult financial struggles, and it was a very, very hard time in my life. And so I don't know what drew me to the rec center nearby's yoga class, but I took it and it changed my life. It's the fundamental practice of what I teach. I'm a classical Pilates instructor, and I incorporate elements of yoga throughout my sessions, and it works for me. I call my practice my own because of this, just as every teacher has their journey, which brought them to where they are. So I really do encourage these mindful movement practices that are derived from breath. I learned the ocean breath in my first yoga class, and I actually incorporate that in my practice today. It's the Ujjayi breath, where we breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And it's a cleansing breath. It calms the mind and it calms the spirit. So I shared with you the heartwarming breath, where you're expelling through your mouth. And I think it's beautiful to try also the oceanic Ujjayi breath. Inhale, cleansing breath into the nose and out of the nose. And as you move deeper into that breath, you can try it alone in your space. You hear the ocean at the back of your throat. And it's just so calming and centering. So add that to your breath work as well, and write that down if you can. I want to talk a little bit about the body and mindful movement, and how the body is a part of this for me, and why I also moved into the world of holistic wellness. I was hard on my body at times, and really hard. I was a marathon runner, and the triage of mind, body, soul at that time was not connected for me. I was hitting personal bests for myself as I was marathon running, and really watching my nutrition to the point of obsession. I was in the top 30 caliber for my age group in races, and you would think that was awesome, and from the outside world it looked great, but internally I was not balanced. And it's hard for me to even say this, but at my lowest point, I was 103 pounds, and I'm 5'7". So if we do the BMI math together, my body fat was way too low, and my mind, body, soul connection was out of whack. So that also led to infertility issues in my life, losing 2 pregnancies, and it wasn't worth it. The over measuring and the obsession to meet every macro and be something that wasn't authentic to myself. So I had to make a change, and I knew that the change needed to come from within. And thankfully my intuition was strong, and I got myself out of that hellhole and changed my physical practices to more ease and respect on my body. And I looked at food now and developed into this as a means of nourishment and enjoyment. And so I'm a matcha drinker. And so what? So I have a coffee. It spirals my system a little bit out of whack, but if I feel like a coffee, I'm gonna have a coffee. And we need to relax a little bit more in this realm of nutrition and wellness. Don't get so wrapped up in the reels of what you have to be doing. Your body is different than my body, and your intuition is strong. Listen to it. How do foods react to you? How do they make you feel, internally and even emotionally? Our intuition is our driving force to our health and well-being. So I'll leave it at that, and I'll move into my next ritual, which is nature. Nature is my happiest place. As I mentioned before, I've been through financial struggles. Superficial life doesn't make us happy. It's temporary. Nature gives us beautiful answers. Nature teaches us. I feel that nature is wiser in many aspects than we are, and that includes animals. When I am needing space, I go to the ocean, or I go into the forest. I'm starting to learn how to forage and find the special mushrooms that make risotto extra special. And I just find peace and clarity in nature. The colors, the smells, the calmness. It's scientifically proven that we relax and ground and center in nature. Every single day, go into nature. And of course, the aspect of creativity. My first profession was interior design, and I carry it still with me to this day. You can see it on my Instagram page. I'm a very creative soul. I love textures and colors and using all of the senses. When someone tells me I'm not an artist, I only draw stick figures, or I'll bring cooking even into it. When someone says to me, I don't cook. If you can read and follow instructions, I promise you, you can cook. And it's a beautiful form of creativity individually. Being creative inspires our talents and our passions and brings out our strongest senses. I feel when we use all of our senses, then we are becoming a whole human being and present with our own individual self. And my form of creativity may be different from yours. Find it. Go deeper into it. It might be a little bit uncomfortable if you're a stick figure drawer, or you're scared to go in the kitchen, but explore in the kitchen. Nobody's going to get mad or tell you you're doing something wrong. Trial and error, taste, touch. I really, really encourage creativity. It's the beautifulest aspect of being a human being. All of the senses that we are able to use. And please continue to write if you are gaining anything from what I'm sharing. And finally, journal writing. So this is the biggest aspect of my practice daily. When I was 7 years old, my journaling began. It was a terrible time in my life. We, as an extended family, experienced a very important person in our life passing away unexpectedly. And so many individuals were affected by this beautiful human being. And my mother was affected deeply. And I knew as a 7-year-old, I could not give my mother more grief. So, ironically, that year, when I was 7, we went to Disneyland, because you go to Disneyland, it's the happiest place on earth, and no one in the family was happy. But I remember walking into a gift shop, and finding a beautiful yellow journal, the color of safety and security, and Mickey Mouse was on the cover. And intuition, if you will, something drew me to starting my journaling practice. And that particular journal was full of a 7-year-old's pain, loss, grief, confusion, loneliness. And eventually through the years, I carried on my writing. I have stacks of journals. I probably have more than